once again resorts to that because the governor has failed to hack in to the letters of the Constitution. Hopefully, I say, my colleague may join me for a few minutes. If not, we will listen to what they said during the course of that plenary. I wonder if it's a plenary press briefing, one of them. But we'll look at the issue and we'll talk for development. At the 5 o'clock hour, I would be having a member of the some call it defunct. I don't know if it's defunct, if defunct is the right word, but yeah, the PDP Presidential Campaign Council in River State for the 2023 general elections. I'll be having a member join me on the show. Remember, on Friday we brought you the news that some leaders and members of that campaign council have decided to pledge their loyalty and support for the President Tinubu's administration. And it's really interesting, the dynamics and the dimension, the politics in River State is taking. And of course we'll talk about it because that's our job, to talk for development. And the reason why we tend to focus very much on politics is because politics begets policies, or politics beget policies, which in turn affect you and I, or should I say our pockets, right? So we'll have to talk about the politics. Remember, we're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. We're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH. And we are active on X, Nigeria Info PH. Without further ado, I'm going to go straight to my first big story. As a matter of fact, the big stories I have for you today were mostly from the weekend. So yesterday, we saw the report on the front pages. Bill denies state governors absolute powers over state police. I'm going to do a summary of that report as fast as I can so we can, have enough time for your contributions. Basically, there is a bill sitting on the various desk sitting on the various desk at the House of Representatives chamber. And that bill is, an attempt to establish, or should I say, an attempt to amend the Constitution so that they can establish state policing. And, the bill talks about the federal police, the IGP being in charge of the federal police, the IGP under the supervision or the control of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which in this case will be President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. However, the IGP will only become IGP first as a result of recommendation, being the recommendation from the Police Service Commission before an appointment by the President, subject to approval by the legislative arm of government. But when it comes to the state level, it's a similar thing. There will be a state police commission. However, the IGP will, or rather, the commissioner of police may be selected, according to my understanding of that law. The commissioner of police may be selected by the federal police authority, that's the IGP and whoever is in charge of the federal police. And then the state governor does not have absolute control. Even though it's going to be appointed by the state governor after the recommendation, it will still be subject to the approval, or subject to the House of Assembly screening and approving that nomination or appointment. And if the Commissioner of Police deems it necessary to go against an order of the state governor, maybe on legal grounds, then the State Commissioner of Police would have to go to the State Police Commission and ask for some directive from the State Police Commission. And if the State Police Commission stands with, or whoever it stands with, it becomes the order of the day. So what do you think about this? It looks like the step to achieving or to actualizing, or should I say to manifesting state policing in Nigeria is becoming a reality. How do you think this will solve the problem? How do you think this will reduce the issues surrounding insecurity in the country? Think about the farmers had this clashes or conflicts. Think about banditry and terrorism happening in the northern part of the country. Think about the different insecurities happening in the country in the southeast, in the southwest. Very minimal in the south, kidnapping, cultism, all of these things. How will state policing help? Looking at how it is panning out already. Remember, I told you over the weekend, or was it on Friday, that 16 state governors have approved or are saying, you know what, we are giving thumbs up to state policing. We want state policing. We love state policing. Can we have state policing? All right. That being said, let's move on now to the next big story. And the next big story has got to do with the story I saw on the Nation newspaper, and I decided to tag it like this: economic hardship. 3 presidential jets to be sold off. Now, the summary of that story is that 3 out of the 10 presidential jet. By the way, why do we have 10 presidential jets? What are we using 10 for? Anyways, 3 out of the 10 president. Wow, how many presidents do we have? I'm just thinking out loud. 10 presidential jets. Anyways, do you know how much it takes to service one presidential jet? Just letting it lie in the hangar. You get to pay huge amounts of money. Anyways, moving on. Kalata, be focused, please. So moving on. The president or the presidency is looking at selling 3 out of the 10 presidential jets. And the reason they have given is they want to reduce, or they're looking at channels to reduce the cost of governance. And so they have decided to sell off 3 and leave 7. I wonder why they're leaving 7. I would have said, let's sell 5. But this is not about me. Maybe even 6, but this is not about me. They want to reduce the cost of governance, because the truth is they probably have listened to the people and they've seen reasons with the people that governance in Nigeria is very costly. But I wonder if this is enough. Because over the weekend we saw the imbroglio in Kaduna State between El-Rufai's son and the Governor Sani, as it, by the way, all from the same party, as it relates to the inability to pay workers' salary, and they say it's as a result of the debt profile, the debt left by El-Rufai when he was governor. And then, in Kebbi State, I believe it was Kebbi State, we were told that there was the looting of a warehouse. And yet again, no excuses. I do find that attitude a wrong attitude. If everybody decides to take the laws into their hands as a result of the current economic hardship, Nigeria will be a war zone. But, the raiding of warehouses in Kebbi State is pointed to the fact that the economic hardship is getting to new heights that Nigerians can barely bear. Even though some would argue, Naira's gained about 21+%, and I do agree, but it will take time before the economy will begin to reflect the gains when we talk about the value of the Naira. I will go for a quick commercial break. When I do come back, we'll talk some more about these issues. Just stay tuned. to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kalada Kurubatsbo, and it's my pleasure here, talking with you for development. All right, so I was just telling you about my second big story for today, and I was telling you that we've decided as a country to sell off 3 out of our 10 presidential jets. Presidential aircrafts, and we have cited, cutting down the cost of governance as, the reason. However, I'm trying to put that story side by side with what happened in Kebbi State over the weekend, where, people raided, I think, about some private warehouses and a government warehouse in Bayan-Kara area of Benin, Kebbi, and carted away food items, right? They took away. I mean, we've had stories like that. This is not the first time we've seen it happen in other places. I want to ask, the reason why I've put those stories together to do some kind of comparison is so that we can, judge or measure. I don't think judge is the right word. We can measure if selling off private jets 3 out of 10 is enough to cut down the cost of governance. Because like I asked yesterday, I'm not taking sides. I don't take sides. But the Kaduna state government cannot pay civil servants salaries, but are they going to pay their own salaries? That's the question begging for an answer. But let's quickly look at the third big story. Time is fast spent, and this story is from the Premium Times news outlet. And it says 3 bandit groups participated in Kuriga students' abduction, received ransom. Sources. That's the headline from. I lifted the headline from Premium Times, and I say it again. 3 bandit groups participated in Kuriga students' abduction, received ransom. Sources. Now, the summary of that story is that someone decided to go do mass abductions at that school. Along the way, he realized that it was too difficult for him, to do it on his own. So he invited 2 other people to share the victims. One person took some, the other, took the rest, and they hit them in different places. They had very good strategies, I should say. One was in charge, I beg your pardon, of repelling the military attack. Even though the report did say some of the bandits died, no military official was wounded or died. What else again is in that report? In that report, we were told that eventually someone came in a commercial vehicle, in a commercial SUV to be precise, went into the forest, negotiated, came out of the forest some 2-3 days later, had a conversation with the traditional ruler, left, and 1 week later, more SUVs with Toyota Hiluxes, I believe. I don't know what particular Hilux, but Hilux vehicles, went into the community. They were covered, so it was suspected that bags of monies were carried, and these bags were carried into the forest. And then, according to eyewitness reports, 18 motorcyclists rode their motorcycles out of the forest, and each motorcycle carried what we call a Ghana Must Go, two Ghana Must Go bags into the forest. And some days later, we heard that the students had been released. Now, when the abduction happened, we were told by the school that over 280 plus thereabout students were abducted. Right now, we're being told it's about 157, if my memory serves me right. However, it is saying that the government paid ransom. I'm wondering if it's really, for me, to be honest, it really doesn't matter if we did pay ransom, especially because the children have been released, and the psychological, the negative, the adverse psychological impact that would have had on them, I mean, it still would have happened to them. but the impact would not have been as much as it would if they had stayed as long as what Chiba girls, for instance, or Dapchi girls, for instance. So for me, I'm glad about that, even though there is the panic that we may be empowering these terrorists with funds due to the ransom payments. Remember, they asked for 1 billion naira. So yet again, it's maybe for me it's not as important. However, why I have brought this, why this is a part of the big story, is because the president had said that there will be no payment of ransom. He said that emphatically. He said his government will not pay ransom. So if this story is anything to write home about, if there is any iota of truth, then my goodness, I'm wondering how you will then see it in the light that the government had said it would not pay ransom. Now, according to the report, the report had quoted the governor of Kaduna State while he was on an interview on one of the national TV stations, and he said it's just like me. He said it doesn't really matter whether we paid or we didn't pay ransom. What matters is that the families and the abductors, or the people who were abducted, I beg your pardon, the abductees, have been reunited. All right, so what's your take on all of these stories that have reeled out today? But before I open the phone lines, I'd like to bring to your notice something that I've observed. And you see, to my dismay, it looks like we have people who have decided to make a fortune out of the political, what's the word now I'm going to use to describe it? The political, oh my goodness, I need a good vocabulary for description of what I'm trying to say now. Okay, you know what, I'll just go with a simple one. The political warfare happening in River State, the political battle happening, the people who enjoy it and are making profits out of it from both sides of the divide, by the way, because I do not understand why I am beginning to see so many groups spring up, supporting A, supporting B, supporting left, supporting right. Now, I'm looking at the in-house bulletin, and there is a group. I'm not going to call the name of the group. You must have listened to the news earlier, and they are saying they have inaugurated this and they have inaugurated that, and that they are supporting the River State governor. Now, I do not have anything against the support for the River State governor, but I'd like to make a plea to all the groups that are, whether you're for left or you're for right or you're in between, please can you hold your support till there is another election cycle. What we should be pressing for is not supported. See, I think this is where the problem is, because we would always come tomorrow and complain, oh, this individual is too strong. Our institutions cannot get to him. Our institutions cannot do this. But the truth is, we made these men stronger than institutions. What we should be clamoring for right now is the development of River State and not taking sides. And yet again, I've observed to my dismay that a lot of people are taking sides when we all, irrespective of your party, irrespective of your divide, irrespective of whatever your opinions are, we should be together for River State. For River State. River State is the common goal. Or should I say, the development of River State is the common goal, and not an individual, and not a political party, and not a religious organization. But I guess you've heard this before, and I'm pleading, I'm begging, I'm asking. Now we should just, keep this politics in our pockets. 2020, what is it going to be? 2026. We can start bringing out the politics from our pockets and start playing politics. You know what? I'm going to go to the phone lines now. I'm done pleading with all the politicians and all the upcoming politicians. please, please let us think River State. Let us believe in River State. And let's keep our political divide for now. I mean, look at Lagos. Lagos had one of the most sensitive elections in Nigeria. And right now, even though we still see some of those, some of those frictions, some of those, issues, ethnic issues, and political issues, everybody right now is thinking development of Lagos State. Can't we copy in that stead? But you know what? Enough of me talking. I like I said, I need to learn how to go back to managing my time. 23 minutes to the top of the hour. Time for me to reel out the numbers. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, and 0817 923 0007. WhatsApp number 0809 0306 We are live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. We are live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH, and we are active on X, Nigeria Info PH. I've got Muriel. Muriel is calling from Okrik, and after Muriel, Clinton and Zion. Hello, Muriel. It's good to have you on the show.
Hi.
Quickly.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Happy holiday to you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Happy start to you, KDB.
All right, welcome then.
Now, this is what the decision concerning the flights, our airlines, the planes they want to sell.
Okay.
Look, KDB, I think they are going to sell the best of the presidential aircraft. And when planes, the presidential planes, and they're going to sell the best of the ones that doesn't have fraud, that will not give them an issue, and they're going to sell it to themselves. Trust me, KDB, and the money is going to go down the drain. It's going to enter both bills. They're not going to get anything about it. And this is the cycle we've been experiencing. And concerning the Kaduna guys and the payment of ransom and the big boys in Kaduna, look, KDB, I've always said, if you cannot, your sons that are within your territorial borders, they will capture your other children and they will take it into your bush, just as your backyard. Then it is so difficult for you to walk into those bush, those little forests, and bring out all your children, including the kidnappers, the one that captured your other children. If you cannot do that, then this is what you're doing on purpose. Go ahead and give them money to survive.
All right.
Just give them money to survive. If you cannot negotiate, some of them will come and say, you don't negotiate with terrorists. You don't do that with terrorists. So if you don't negotiate, what else do you have to do? There is nothing. KDB, they just come out and give us statement that they didn't anything, and at the end of the day, they paid. And that's how people are living now. They are buying weapons for themselves. But I strongly believe they paid the ransom.
All right, Muriel, thank you. All right, thank you very much. I've got to go. I've got Clinton from Bori. Clinton, greetings. Welcome. What is on your mind quickly so I can get to Zion from GRA?
Yeah, Kalada, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, I think our duty as the people, as the citizens of this country, is to comment and criticize the government on their policies.
Okay.
I think this particular government is one that's listening to the people. The fact that they are trying to cut cost of governance goes to show that they have this mindset of listening to what the people are saying, because we are suffering. The poor economic management, resource management is what we've been suffering in this country.
Okay.
So selling off 3 private jets of the president, I think is a good one. But we can still reduce it to 5. But for now, we commend the step that they've taken.
Okay.
Then on the issue of state policing,
sorry. Before you move on to state policing, are you saying you don't suspect any foul play? You don't suspect the government trying to do us? The more you look, the less you see.
No, I don't suspect any foul play here.
Okay.
I see sincerity of purpose here. The government really want to cut cost here, because they've seen moves they've made before. Reducing traveling and entourage, I think the government is trying to reduce cost of governance. All
right. So you're going to talk about
the state police. I still believe, Kalada, that if we want to secure the people, we can still do it with what we have. We have the Air Force, we have the Navy, we have the police, we have the civil defense.
Okay.
All these are security agencies that can do their jobs effectively if they are being managed properly. Now you're bringing in state police that even the federal police is being controlled by the state governors. Talk more of the state police. So I think we should look at ways that we can actually sponsor this state federal police, pay them well, do proper recruitment, and discuss the challenges we address finally. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I've got Zion. Zion from Jerry, welcome. What is on your mind?
Good afternoon to you, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Zion.
One erroneous approach you have ever made in this part of the geopolitical zone is to compare and contrast us with Lagos.
No, I didn't compare. I just said, look at
No, I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
Not you.
I only made a
lot
reference.
of people are making this error.
Okay.
Look at Lagos State.
Okay.
Lagos State, I will liken it to be like an homologous series.
Okay.
In organic chemistry. They are different. They all have a particular aspect. That is why today the Lagos State, Ogun State, Ondo State, they are all merging. But here it is different. Over 400 years, the Ijaws and every other tribe have been living together. Yes, no tribe can influence any other tribe. And yet you are living together as one. Have you ever heard the Ijaws are influencing the Queries in this part of this country, or the Obolo people, or the African people?
What's your point?
What I'm trying to say, you are talking about politics. We will not stop it. I'm talking to you right now, as I'm talking to you, the Mr. Zion political vanguard and the Atuku political fraud, why are you laughing now?
Oh my goodness.
Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
You are not being fair to us. Are not fair to us.
I am sorry.
We are in a discussion mobilizing for Sim Fubara as our governor. Politics, you don't start political era. You even prepare for politics against 2030 from now. That is what they think. For now, God has given us Governor Sim Fubara as a governor of necessity in the history of Nigerian politics.
All right.
So you can't expect us to fold our hands and we should be intimidated. We can't do this alone.
But you see, Zion, you may have misconstrued what I tried to say. I've not said the people supporting the governor should fold their hands, or the people supporting the FCD minister should fold their hands. I'm saying, hey, let's leave whichever one you belong to. Leave the politics. You know, both sides have boasted of their political strength, their political abilities come 2027. So why don't we wait till 2026? And that's all I'm asking. Anyways, let's go back to the phone line. 0817923 0002 and 0817923 0003. There's 0817923 What are your thoughts? I'd like to hear from you. Remember, we're live on Facebook. On Facebook, Samita Paulie Roma says, but on a serious note, why do we have so many presidential jets? They should sell 9 of them and maintain only one. We should stop all these waste of money. You know, one could develop fault. And if we sell it, how would the president travel? And this one says, I personally don't think we need state policing. We need to restructure the current police force. Why has state police... Okay, so why have state police when the state governor will not have absolute control? I beg, make we talk something better. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let's take this call. 92.3 Nigeria Info. What's your name? Where are you calling in from? Hello. Yeah, good afternoon to you. What's your name? Where are you calling in from, please? Can you hear me? All right, do call back if you can. Let's go straight to, let's see this WhatsApp platform. Says if only Bishop Oyedepo can have 5 private jets, then the presidency should have up to 10 presidential aircrafts. You know too much, Steve, with that one. Let's see. Okay, someone said I can call it political quagmire. Oh, okay. Good morning. Sorry, Jude, thank you very much there. This was says the selling of 3 private jets by the presidency isn't a way to cut down expenses. In fact, that is not among solutions to cut down expenses. This only shows how Nigerian leaders love luxury over the well-being of fellow Nigerians. Why can't those jets be leased out? I can assure you, Canada, those jets are being sold so that they can buy new SUVs and facilitate their stomach infrastructure, if you know what I mean, right now, from Woji. All right, this one says, Canada, I greet you. Talking about the rescued school children, remember the FG used the word rescue when they were describing their release. And in any rescue mission, there must be casualties on the part of the abductors and the military. So how the military were able to allegedly rescue these children, didn't record any casualty, didn't arrest any of the bandits, and still left unhurt, still baffles me. For Rivers State and their Wahala, while states like Abia are busy embarking on massive infrastructural development and paying backlogs of salaries to pensioners, Rivers State is busy talking of resuming impeachment proceedings against the governor. It's quite unfortunate. Finally, the FG should reduce their fleet of jets to just 2, because managing a jet no be more. Simply goodness with that one. Okay, let's take this one. It says, Chief K, selling the jets is one thing. Using the money for the people is another thing, because I strongly believe that selling the jet cannot be useful to Ross, the common man. Kelechi K. Onwibiko. I've got Andy. Andy's calling me from Rupoko. Andy, good afternoon to you. Welcome on the show. What is on your mind?
Canada, happy new month.
Oh, same to you. Same. Welcome.
Oh, okay, Canada, I tend to have a little misunderstanding, or I understand the aspect of you saying every other group that has made up their minds to support either the governor or the I'm sorry, of Federal of Nigeria. I want to ask, how do you expect, or how can the layman, how can the grassroots be able to support the governor if it is not by entering one group or the other?
No, come on now. And Andy, you can support the governor by keying into the policies of government, by ensuring, because remember, the policies of government will not just manifest, will not just become a reality. The people would have to play their parts. So by ensuring that you follow the letters of the Constitution, you obey the laws of the land, and everybody act orderly, so that the government and the security agencies will not be running helter-skelter to maintain peace and order.
Canada, what you're saying in essence is these groups, they have not acted any wrong or wrongly against the Constitution.
No, they have not.
Because
before
now, we know that joining any group is constitutional. You have the right to join any group. You have the right to freedom of speech, freedom of everything. So what I'm saying in essence, why I just asked the question is, see, in this aspect of Nigeria, precisely River, how was the foundation when the former governor was in power?
But can Andy, we know all of these things, and we keep saying Rivers State is a political state, but can we change the narrative? And that's what we're trying to
we can change the narrative. How can we be able to change the narrative?
Okay.
It's by us coming free and fairly to support anybody. Come online and say, oh, okay, for example,
Andy,
I was involved in the civil service in 2015.
Okay.
And I've not been converted and promoted. And the governor that just came in have promoted me, converted me, giving me my promotion.
But Andy,
and you don't want me to support him.
That's the work of government. So what about, this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I mean, you're free to support whoever.
That is the little way I think I can support the governor, by coming on air to thank him.
Okay, all right, no problem. I get your point.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
But you see, Andy has refused to understand the point where we need to focus on development and not on the individuals, and that's why we have strong individuals, weak institutions. And I know what I'm saying, because in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, if we continue in this trajectory, we'll continue to say, oh, we have strong men, weak institutions. But how do you think the strong men came about? It's because we did what we are doing right now. But I've got Samson from Abua. Samson, welcome. What's on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Hello.
Yes, greetings, Samson. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
My name is Serene Samson. I'm calling from Abua Udwa in Magoku Bokland.
All right.
Yes, my brother, concerning what is playing out in River State. Right from when this issue started, if you listen to me, I've been begging all the whole gladiator, because all this fight and all this impeachment notice of a team will not take Rivers the least Rivers English to anywhere.
Okay.
So I am using this medium to beg the whole gladiator, because more especially the elders of this state. I don't see why they keep quiet up to when the president has intervened. If only the elders of this state have intervened from the beginning of this issue, all this issue wouldn't have been playing on in River State.
Okay.
But the elders, they did not intervene. That is why the president intervened. In all, I'm trying to beg them, whatever thing that they are doing, we have gone through each and every one of those 8-point resolutions that is of the Nigerian Constitution.
Right.
But out of that one, I am using this great medium that you have given to me to beg each and everyone, please, in the name of God Almighty, they should let this impeachment thing, keep it aside. Let us focus on developing River State.
Okay.
Please, in the name of God Almighty. This River State is going through a lot.
Right.
When you go to, more especially those in the rural area, consider massive suffering that is going on. And you are begging them, please, in the name of God Almighty.
All right.
We should leave this fight of a team.
All right.
It will take River State to know who we are. Please.
Thank you very much, Samson. I've got to go. Wari Baka from Alakaya. Sorry, I couldn't take your call. Do call back if you can. Let's say this one. This was just good afternoon, Mr. KDB. It will be so bad if the government paid ransom to get those students in Kaduna State. It means we are indirectly financing these bandits. Who knows, the next day they will operate again, in as much as the business of kidnapping is very lucrative. Why can't the government spend the money for modern technology? Comrade Oyibo Prosper. You've asked some pertinent questions there. He said, let the poor masses keep supporting the rich politicians. I think I like your slogan, even though you did not drop your name. This one says, one day you have not condemned the group troubling the governor the way you are condemning the actions of the governor and his supporters. Why would you say the groups declaring support for the governor should stop and wait till next elections? Are you not seeing what Wiki and his assemblymen are doing to the governor? Kalada, do your work without being sentimental, please. Don't support the governor and don't support anyone or any group, Lady V. And then you say misconstrued words. You can't stop to support groups for SIM. Lady V, I don't know. I don't know if you listen carefully. I did not say those who are supporting the governor should stop support. I said both parties should keep their support in their pockets and wait for 2026, and then they bring it out for their pockets. Right now, what we should be talking about is how we can develop River State. What we should be looking at is how we can, let's see how we can improve power supply. Let's see how we can improve water supply. Let's see how, we can help businesses, SMEs grow, and not just grow, but grow into big businesses and conglomerates and all of that stuff. That's what the government is supposed to do, and not tell us who to fight and where to fight. I don't know if I made sense there. But this one says, presidency is only selling off the jets considered to be old and wouldn't waste much time to purchase new ones. They denied buying of yachts, only to tag as gift few weeks ago. Victor from Egbema. All right, this one says, I think a responsible government protects the interests of its citizens and provide them with good governance. This Tinubu-led government earlier came up with palliatives as a means of cushioning the effects of subsidy removal. Now it is selling off 3 presidential jets. My concern is this: whether or not they sell them, how does it impact on Nigerians? Does it bring down fuel pump price or the prices of commodities? All the recovered Abacha loot, where were they put? I have long stopped worrying myself. Why does the government do anything? Okay, he said, why does the government do anything about the prices of commodities rising daily? Make we they play. Chiselite from Rumacruci Pipeline. You earlier said the government has lost its standard in recent years. We no longer have responsible government that is there to protect the interest of its citizens and give them good governance. This government earlier came up with palliatives as a means of cushioning the effects. I think it's the same message you wrote there twice. I'm going to go on to another message, and this one says, good day, Mr. Kalada. If the federal government thinks the sale of the 3 jets will add more growth to our country's financial gain, they should move on. The hardship is too high. Bakata from Ozwa in Azwa community. All right. This one says, state police, no absolute powers for governors. I'm no longer worried about overt negative control over state police by governors to use in fighting political enemies. Canada, if we know the person we chose or about to choose as our governor would use the state police to fight his enemies, why did we elect him to be in charge of the other affairs of the state? This kind of fear of giving power to the wrong people or incompetent people is the reason why so-called advanced nations elect people with well-known and proven good character into all cadre of public office. They do that because they do not know the next kind of power the legislative arm may arrogate to him or her. And he said, by the time a few governors use the police to deal with us, we would vote wisely in the next election. Text from Oigbo. I've misreading your messages, I should say. This is good day, Mr. Kalada Korubata, but welcome back and happy new month. State police, Nigeria is not right for state police because the governors could use the state police to which aunt and intimidate political opponents. Nigeria is not ripe to manage state police. I want to tear clean team West. This one says, do I have enough time? Kalada, good afternoon and happy Easter holiday. Sincerely speaking, what we really need now is state or community police because our present federal police have really failed us. Comrade Amadi, thank God. Okay. This one says, courting the cost of governance is a right step in the right direction. You said, however, the jets cost $43 million each, so 3 up for sale means the office of the president will be having $129 million. I hope there's sincerity of purpose. Maintaining 1 jet is $10 million, which is too much. If it were possible, 5 should be sold. Conclusively, River State is still not yet ready for governance. After almost a year in governance, we're still talking about impeachment process by political skullduggery men loyal to Wike. Governor Sim Fubara is grossly overwhelmed by their distractions. He has lost focus to what he should. He has no scope for governance, and there seems to be no contingency approach to his distraction. We are way behind Lagos and even Abia states. Politics for another 4 years instead of governance. Charles Cottrell. All right, I may agree with you. This one says, Canada, good afternoon and happy Easter celebrations. Have you not heard that the British Prime Minister uses public airplanes to travel? When will African rulers, especially Nigerians, forgo inferiority complex and jettison use of presidential jets of their nations? This is one of the unnecessary inflated sources of cost of governance. Nigerian government sell all the jets to Nigerian Air and use Nigeria Air for travels. Nigerians are an international laughingstock because how can a nation without national airlines have 10 presidential jets? What economic policy is that? Regular IC's asking. And I think I've got to go. It's time for me to read the business here. But I like Ogo John Justice's statement. He says, these Oga boys are becoming a problem to not only Fubara but to the entire Rivers people and the residents. A close attention to be paid to any of their actions and utterances. All right, I've got to go. Business news up next. After that, we will talk some more. Just stay tuned.